Alright, hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, welcome back to Pokemon Ultra Moon. Last time, we arrived here in Melee City, and I also sounded, like, really tired in the last couple of videos. I don't know where that came from. I don't remember feeling tired when I was recording those, because usually if I do, I wrap it up pretty quickly. But, wow, the last couple of videos, I sounded like I was gonna fall asleep in my chair. Hopefully that's not gonna be the case today, because, as far as I can tell, I'm definitely awake today. But, anyway, so... How is going to be standing in front of us over here, and we're going to be getting into a rival fight. And the first time I did this fight, I found myself on the short end of that matchup really quickly. So let me try and actually go into my menu and prepare my team a little bit. I did say that my team is going to kind of be lagging behind in terms of the difficulty curve for a while, because I'm going to have my starter, and I'm going to have 3 dragons who aren't really going to be doing much until like level 40 or 50. And, I think we're definitely reaching that part of the game, so I'm gonna want to actually try and be a little bit smart about this. So, there's a couple options. One is that I could turn down the difficulty by going into options and turning on set battle. I'm gonna try not to do that. Turning on switch battle, rather. I'm gonna try not to do that because I do like set as a difficulty setting, and I want to keep it that way. Another thing I could do, although I wouldn't really do that much, it wouldn't really make that much difference here, is I could use my other difficulty setting of turning on the experience all. But, like, at this point, I don't think sharing experience is going to really make that much of a difference, so I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and, let's switch Pico out to the front, because Pico is my starter. He's going to have the type advantage against, House starter. 2, let me look at items. So, Loke, unfortunately... Stop trying to move people. Loke, unfortunately, probably isn't going to do much. Loke does have the Eviolite, which is going to buff the defenses of someone who can still evolve. But, like, like, attack loadout... This attack loadout isn't that interesting, unfortunately. Sorry, Loke. You're going to probably have to get a couple more levels before you really, can contribute in an interesting way. Let me go and switch the held item. I'm going to switch the Eviolite for the... I'm going to switch that onto Strewn over here, I think. Because Strewn has some fun tactics that she can do in combat, such as, you know, paralyzing people and being annoying. And I think I'm gonna go with that. Next, let me see. So you are level... Where's... Oh, I was gonna say, where's the level on the screen? It's right in front of me. You are level 29, almost 30. You are level 28, and you just reached 28. You're level 26, almost 27. You are level 28, about halfway to 29. Alright, do I have any rare candies? If I have any rare candies, I think I'll give them to, Strewn. You know what? You're gonna evolve at level 30, aren't you? How complicated do I want to make this? Way to go, Ghastly. Thanks, I guess. Ending that battle before I could. Alright, got to level 29 on Strewn, and I think now, if I use that rare candy in my inventory, I'm going to grow to level 30. And, let's see, here's the rare candy. We're gonna go and use this on Strewn, and this should trigger an evolution. That should make this this next upcoming fight a little bit more interesting than it was the first time around. Alrighty then. Oh my god, that screen is so long, I hope nobody minds that I'm gonna start cutting them out every time I see that screen. Alright, so now, we can go back to Melee City and fight, what's his name? Or, we can take care of our next order of business, our real next order of business, which is going to be... How do I trade people? Quick link? So we're gonna trade Strewn back to my original copy of Pokemon Sun from whence she came. And once we've done that... Yeah, I don't remember why that Absol is named BQ. I don't even remember if that's my Absol or if I got it from someone else. I assume it was a pun, in some way or another. But, alright, yeah, we can register you in the Pokedex for reasons, I guess. That's not the important part here. The important part is... And if I fly back to Heihei City, the name raider can be found inside the Alola Tourist Bureau. Who is it? I don't remember which one it was. You are the name raider, so there are 3 people in here, not counting the clerk. I had a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right on the first time, although I guess it stands to reason that it wouldn't have been the little kid. So, this is the game where Stroon came from, and I should be able to rename Stroon. And, we can go from Stroon to Stroon, and I'm gonna have to count characters here, to Stroon... Where's my stylus? Here's my stylus. No! Capture USB. Alright. Stroon. Bah. From now on, this Pokemon shall be known as Stroon Bah. That's all I really wanted to do here. Now that we've done that, we can go back to the quick link, and I can trade the Pokemon back to the game that I'm actually playing. Alright, so we're back here, standing in front of How, and, let me see, anything else? So there's one thing that I forgot to do when I was in the menu earlier, and that is going to be that I've got some of these... Okay, so one of these HP ups. And I think I'm going to use that on... Look over here, because Look is kind of... Your fully evolved form is going to only have 2 weaknesses, Dragon and Fairy, and I think that, that, as much as anything else, makes it make sense for you to be, like, the designated tank of my team. Kingdra has very balanced stats overall, but it does have a pretty good type in Water Dragon, so I think I'm going to use you to sponge hits when I don't know if anybody else is really going to be able to. And I've also got this Health Wing here, which is another effort value in... Yeah, we're gonna also use that on Look over here. It's 4 effort values equals 1 stat point at level 100, and at level 28 it's gonna be like 16 stat points equals 1 point of stat. But every little bit helps, and because I do want to go into this fight a little bit prepared, we're gonna see if we can do that. So, other than that, everybody's hold items are what I want them to be, so let's go and talk to How. I have a great idea, Dragger. Come on, let's have a Pokemon battle. So, this is a Pokemon game. I'm not sure if great idea is really warranted. It's certainly a good idea, but, like, it's not like a world-changing revelation or anything. It's not something I didn't expect when I walked up to you and saw that you had Dartrix out by your side. Anyway, so we're going to be challenged by Pokemon Trainer How, and Pokemon Trainer How is going to send out his Dartrix. No, he's not. Dartrix is just going to be standing there, because you were standing on the overworld next to him. This game doesn't have following Pokemon the same way that Heart Gold and Soul Silver do, and, the DLC for Sword and Shield, but, I appreciate that the game acknowledges that Dartrix was standing right there on the overworld when the battle started, and it just makes sense. So, Fire Fang. If memory serves from my first attempt at this fight, Inferno Overdrive is not going to be enough to take down the Dartrix, and it's going to make me sad, but who knows, maybe I'll get a critical hit, maybe I'll get a lucky damage roll. I don't think I'm a higher level than I was the first time I tried fighting this, so I don't think that's going to really come into play, but once this big, long Final Fantasy summon animation is out of the way and the dust settles, we're going to see exactly how this fight is going to turn. So, that is... Really, the game is just mocking me. Alright, so that's going to do a little bit less than half. I have Leech Life. I taught this a while ago. I've been meaning to use it. I don't think I really have been using it on Pico over here. It would be a good move if I did remember to use it. So we're just going to go and use Leech Life here. And that's going to take down the Dartrix. And who are you going to send in next? Okay, so that was like, what, 1 HP? Pico's going to gain a level out of that. That's nice, level 30. 2 of my team members are now level 30. You're going to send in Vaporeon. Alright. So Vaporeon is not what Pico really wants to see right now. You know, cats, water, don't really get along. I think I'm going to U-turn on out of here, and we're going to switch into someone who, like, maybe can stand up to this thing a little bit more easily. Let's see, we're going to return. We're going to go and switch out to Strewn Ba, I think. You being able to paralyze or being able to Dragon Rage you to death or that sort of thing. I also could take this opportunity to use Dragon Dance, set up in your face, and use a bunch of Extreme Speed, I guess. I wasn't really thinking that until a minute ago, but you know what? This is probably going to be Strewn Ba's fight, so we're going to go and see how much she can do here. So you're going to use Confuse Ray. I mean, Confuse Ray. It might as well be Confuse Ray. With how often it does get the confusion off. But you're going to go and use Water Pulse. I take it that's your only attacking move. What moves have I seen? I think Water Pulse is the only one I've seen. What else do you probably have? You probably have, like, honestly, like... Oh, no, I don't think the EVs learn, like, Heal Bell until later, so you can't get rid of your paralysis. I'm gonna go, I think, +3. And we'll see what that does. What that's like. Vaporeon is defensive, but most of its bulk is on the special side. Its physical defense isn't great, but it does still have a fair amount of HP. I feel like even at this point... Alright, I was gonna say, have I gotten, like, 4 Water Pulses off without being confused? But I think at this point, like... Dragon Rage would still be like a 3-hit KO, and I don't really want to go there. So, wait a minute. What is this? Raises all stats of your battling... Should I do this? I've got 2. I don't remember where they came from. I'm gonna use one of them just because I want to. I don't know if I'm gonna need it. This is basically a free, like, Ancient Power boost. Rainbow boost, as it's called in some circles. Alright, well, I also would like it if I, let's say, use one of these full restores. Again, perhaps a little bit wastefully, but the first time I did this fight was such a swift total party kill that I don't want to mess around. Let's see, I'm what, at +4 now in my attack, which is 3x. Let's see what an Extreme Speed is going to do. And I didn't get confused, which is good. I am at +3 on my attack. Let's see what a 2.5x Extreme Speed is going to do. Has Vaporeon been paralyzed yet? I don't think Vaporeon has been paralyzed yet. Anyway, Strewn is going to gain that much experience. You're going to send in Raichu, which is an Alolan Raichu, whose type I don't know. And that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But we're going to go and use an Extreme Speed and see how much damage this does to you from full health. And that, once again, took you down. I don't think I needed the Roto boost. I just wanted to see it go off. Alright. So, almost got level 31 there. Tauros. This Intimidate is going to lower my attack from +3 to +2. Let's see if Extreme Speed is still enough to take you down. I feel like it probably won't, although I did say that about the last one too. Alright, that was about half of your health. Horn Attack. Yeah. Alright, so Extreme Speed is going to be a 2-hit KO here. I suppose if I didn't have that free Rainbow boost, it would have been a 3-hit KO, and that would have consumed the last power point on Extreme Speed. And I think you've got one more Pokemon after this, if I'm counting correctly. Noibat. Okay, not the most intimidating thing ever. This is probably the easiest thing on your entire team. I guess Dartrix wasn't that hard either. Assuming I had a fire type out front to face it, but... Alright! Strewn Ba got the Dragon Dance sweep off with Extreme Speed. I think I'm satiated on that for probably the rest of the game. I don't know if I really intend on doing that again until we're done here, but... You know what? We got through that. That was pretty cheap, but like I said, I have been falling behind in terms of levels, so I'm okay with a cheap fight once in a while. Lycanium Z. I was gonna say I got through that without using an item, but I think I did use items. I used the full restore and also the Rotom boost. Anyway, it came with a set. It came with those big Malasadas that Wika gave me, but I don't plan on adding any Lycan Rock to my team or anything. Alright, so that's gonna be a Lycanium Z. So if you want a Werewolf Z move or something like that, that's how you would do it, I guess. You and your Pokemon looked like they were having a blast. I guess it's like my Gramps said, go beyond winning and losing and learn to find joy in any battle. And then you'll find that you're getting strong before you even know it. What? You're still mad I don't seem to be getting that much stronger? I sure hope not. Me and my partner ought to be, like, totally in sync with one another. We'll get there, buddy. Now, I guess we should go and try and track down Professor Kukui in Melee Garden, right? Alright. So, I am going to go and heal. The quest marker has moved about 3 feet down the road. Should I go there now? Or should I go and, like, screw around in town? I think I'm gonna go screw around in town. So, there is gonna be, the gardens are over there, and that is where the quest is. Oh, is Lily gonna tell me that I can't go on until I do plot? Alright, fine. So I was gonna say I'll go screw around in town for a while before going on and doing plot, but I guess the game is gonna say that we have to go and do plot anyway. Everyone says you have to visit the garden if you're visiting Melee. Yeah, well, that's generally a rule with me whenever I go somewhere, is if there's a botanical garden, I have to, like, see it. Anyway, so this is the Melee garden, and Howe says, I heard that they serve tea somewhere here in Melee Garden. I'll start my search from the bridge here. Why don't you start around the edge? Alright, so that is going to be the professor. I guess the professor is a bit of a tea fanatic of sorts. Let's see, what does this sign say? That is just going to zoom in on the map. Alright, apparently there is some sort of motif. Is it going to be like a Pokemon when viewed from above? I feel like that's probably what the joke is going to be. No riding upon any Pokemon in the garden except for Charizard. Alright. If I go out in this direction, are there going to be fights to be had in here? That is a fishing spot, which I'm not really interested in. I take it there won't be any hidden items because, no Stoutland. Not that I really care, because Stoutland sucks. Yeah, Slowpoke is always taking it easy. Are you a trainer? You are a trainer. So I have gone and switched out my team. Loke is out front again. Strewn is the she. Loke has the Eviolite again. So hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit of training off on him before we continue. Let's go and do this. Commemorative photo? Yeah, sure. That was a bit of a risky play. I was not sure if I was going to survive that. In fact, I had a feeling I wasn't going to, but I wanted to see if I could anyway. This is a grassy seed. Is that an item that will increase the duration of terrain moves, terrain effects? I feel like that's what that is. Terrain being basically like a separate weather system. I haven't even been thinking about repels. Gotcha! Alright, anyway, that appears to be all there is around that direction, so let me go swing around the other way, and maybe there's going to be another trainer or another item to be had or something like that. Why is Hao just, like, blocking the bridge, though? There's got to be something else out here. There's got to be, like, Team Skull or something out here, doesn't there? That the game wants me to see before proceeding. Alright, before we deal with whatever that happens to be, today is Pokemon Day. I think every day is Pokemon Day, to be honest. Why is Bubble Beam a 3 at KO and a Cleffa? Look, I'm sorry, you're really not a very good Pokemon at this moment in time. Alright, that's a luxury ball. Hopefully a couple more levels. When does Horsey evolve into Seadra? I want to say it's like 30, 32, something like that. Hopefully in a couple more levels we'll get there. Alright, so there's someone standing in the middle of the water over there with some very soggy socks. We're gonna leave them to their own soggy socks for now. If I come back this way, are you a trainer? You are not a trainer. What in the world is the secret of the pond in this garden? Is that a side quest? Is there gonna be something written on the back of the bench? I'm sorry, NPCs in Pokemon just saying that next to, like, a bench or signage or something like that makes me think of the thing in X and Y where there was something written on the back of the, what was it? The back of the notice board of the train, on the train station or something? Anyway, let me go and, Oh, I'm just on the other side of the bridge that Hao was guarding. Why are you being difficult, Hao? You weren't even gating anything. You were just making me walk. You're not gating anything either. You're also just making me walk. Alright, whatever. Let's see. I came from down this way, though. And, is there anything out here? Alright, Kukui is standing in front of the picnic table, looking like he's ready for a fight. I'll talk to him in a minute. I see a sticker. Let's go ahead and take the sticker. That's 42 stickers. We've got is that a trash can shaped like a Vanillish, or an actual Vanillish? It's not responding when I talk to it, so I'm guessing it's just a decoration. Alright. Designed by people who came to Alola from Johto. Alright, that explains the Japanese aesthetic. Rage Candy Bar. So that's going to be one of those regional full heals. Indeed, Rage Candy Bar do associate with Johto. Let's see. Is there any other... Can I surf across this? Oh, I can just take the bridge. You're a trainer. Let's go and fight this person. Alright. That went a little bit better, or, well, actually, I guess I can't really say that because I switched into someone who wasn't a level 29 horsey for that fight. Alright. Gotta think before I open my mouth. Let's go this way. It's sometimes a little bit hard to tell on the map. Oh, I just ran right into TM73 Thunderwave. Because I was looking down at the map. It's sometimes a little bit hard to tell on the map, like, where the tall grass ends and... Okay. So moving on, wow. Alright, so I finally did go and turn on a repel because this is starting to get a little bit annoying. We're gonna come back this way, and is there anything else? It looks like there's a little bit more up here. What is this? This is a great golden wall and a big mushroom. Alright. By the way, TM73 Thunderwave, is there anyone on my team who can make use of that? And by anyone, I mostly mean no. I was gonna suggest Horsey. I was gonna suggest Look, but apparently he can't learn that, which is a shame, because being able to at least slow down the enemy would probably not be a bad idea. You don't seem to be able to learn any of the other fun TMs. Alright, that's too bad. So I guess it's gonna be time to go and actually do plot things and talk to Kukui, etc. Kukui can be found down over here. I kind of ignored him the first time I ran past. Oh, Professor Kukui! Hey there! What's going on with you two? Your eyes are shining extra bright today. Did something happen? Wait. What happened? Oh, we're talking about the jellyfish hat thing from, yeah, over there. You gotta hear this. An ultra wormhole opened up, like, right in front of us. And there really are ultra beasts in there. And aliens from other worlds, too. You gotta tell Professor Burnett. Ooh, you got to see an ultra wormhole and an ultra beast and folks from another world? That is amazing. Oh, yeah. Sounds like an even better reason to train hard, yeah, on your island challenge. Maybe someday you'll be able to go through the ultra wormhole. Alright. Your trial is up on Mount Hokulani. That one's gonna take me a couple tries. You can catch the bus to get there. Just head up the bus stop on Route 10, yeah? You guys can go ahead without me. I've got a hot date with a Malasada shop. I'm gonna get my Pokemon some treats so they'll really start to like me. Roger that, good buddy. I'll be waiting at the bus stop, Drago, whenever you're ready to go. Did you know? Know what? Oh wait, that was a dialogue option. I just said that. There's an observatory up on Mount Hokulani, and you know what else they do you know what it is they do at an observatory, right? I assume they observe something. Hope you do, because I sure as heck don't. I'm out. Alright, I'm starting to think that maybe one of us should start laying off the sugar-filled pastries, and I don't think it's me. Anyway, I think I'm going to end this off here. So my name is Dragonite. This has been Pokemon Ultra Moon. We got some stuff done today. It kind of didn't really feel like it because I did spend a lot of time like messing around with that trade and the rename and that sort of thing. But I think we're gonna end it here. And next time we're gonna head up the mountain and probably goof off in town because I wanted to do that today and the game didn't let me. So the goofing off is gonna have to wait. Anyway, you should all go check out Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, which is one of the games that I like to work on when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Link to the Steam page can be found down below. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.